All right, so this is going to be pretty quick. I wanted to talk a little bit about next week's update. It's going to be a 24-minute interview with Monica Gallagher, who is a Baltimore-based, soon-to-be Austin, Texas-based cartoonist. She's a good friend of mine, and she agreed to sit down and talk comics with me, talk about her origin story as a cartoonist, talk about some of the techniques that she uses, and one of my favorite bits, her advice for cartoonists just starting out.
From what I've seen lately, it seems like a lot of people get bogged down by indecision about what to do. Like, they don't want to start something because it won't be perfect, or they don't want to start something because they don't know how it's going to end. And I think you always just have to start, and it's not that big a deal if you start something and you don't want to do it anymore. I think that's really important, because you don't want to put so much pressure on yourself that you just never try. And a lot of people, I see them doing that. They're like, well, I can't do it until I've learned this, this, and this, and I know how to draw people perfectly. And it's like, no, just, you'll figure it out as you go. Plus, that's a really good way to find out if you're actually interested in it. Because I've also known people who put a lot of time and effort into one book and they're like, oh, I'm never doing that again. So it's good. It's good to know that, like what your style is. That's usually what I tell people, is just keep going. And finish something, like even if it's a tiny, 3 or 5 page book, just finish it so that you know you can. Don't make it your big opus, which we all do, where you're like, it's gonna go on forever. I mean, we're all guilty of that. You can still do that if you want, but finish something so that you know you can, because that'll give you confidence to do the next thing.
So next Wednesday, the entire interview is gonna go up. I'm hardly in it, which is great, because my favorite style of interviews are the ones where the subject gets to tell their own story. So that's the way I kind of shot it. There's none of the usual click here, subscribe now bullshit at the end of it, because I wanted Monica to be able to tell her story. So I thought I would do that bullshit now. If you enjoy the interview, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to build it up this year to try to see if I can make a go out of this YouTube stuff. I have a lot of ideas for other interviews that I want to do throughout the year. And if you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments in this video. After shooting the video with Monica, there are a couple of limitations of my gear that I would like to kind of upgrade. I was only able to shoot it in 1080 with this DSLR that I'm using, so that's why you only get the one static shot. If I was able to shoot it in 4K, I could do like the panning thing as she's talking, or do cut-ins, so that you'd get a little bit more variety than just the single shot. I would also like to shoot in slow-mo. This camera doesn't do 120 frames per second, so if I could upgrade to something that you could get those nice little slow-mo B-roll panning shots, which are cool. But it's not necessary. I'm gonna use this gear as much as I can, as long as I can, and try to get as far as I can with the stuff that I got. But if you're interested in helping me out, there are affiliate links down in the video, so you could check out the gear that I use to do my artwork and the vlog here. And if you're interested in purchasing any of those items, click through those affiliate links. I also have a Patreon, which I hardly advertise, but I do have a Patreon. Every little bit counts. So if you actually want to see the full interview now and not wait until next week, I've posted it up on my Patreon, but you can check that out. I got links for everything all there. I'm super excited to share this interview with you next Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope it inspires some of you who are maybe having a tough time creatively, or just find yourself in a slump. Listening to Monica is always inspiring. She does so much stuff. She puts so much work into what she does, so much of her heart and soul into it, and that really comes across in her story. So tune in for next week. If you already follow me, I'm sure you're going to be annoyed to hell that I keep posting about it, but I'm going to be flooding everybody next week. And thanks for tuning in and subscribing and helping out and all that kind of good shit. All right, no more. See ya. Bye. Have a great weekend.